Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Tarot by Melissa, and today's reading is going to be centered around this upcoming Aquarius season and what's in store for you. So Aquarius season runs from around January 20th through February 18th. The sign of Aquarius is an air sign, for those of you that don't know. And Aquarius season for me, when I think of this time, or when I think of the sign of Aquarius, I think of themes like focusing on collective, what's good for the good of all versus just the individual. I also think of things like stepping outside of the box, marching to the beat of your own drum, doing things in a non-conventional way. So there's a lot of different themes that come up during Aquarius season. I'm not necessarily going to be specifically focusing on just those themes in your reading. I left it very open and very general, but it will be interesting to see if any of those themes pop up for you as we get into this pick a card. So let's go ahead and get into some disclaimers. First and foremost, this is a general reading, so some of the messages may apply, some may not. As I always say, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Don't let it get you upset or take it personally if something that I'm saying isn't super specific to your own personal situation. If you did want to book a personal reading, all the details on how you can book one with me will be linked in the description box down below. Personal readings are always a great way to get a more specific and accurate read on your own personal situation. Also bear in mind, guys, that we are looking at sort of a predictive style reading where we're reading into what may happen in the future based off of the current energy. It's important to note with readings like these that future is not set in stone because energy is always changing. So please never feel stuck or tied or bound to anything that a tarot reading is saying, because it's literally just showing you a snapshot of what might happen based off of the current energy. And you have free will to create your own future through the choices and decisions that you ultimately make. All right? So let's go ahead and get into our pile selection. For pile 1, we're working with some Pyrite. For pile 2, we have some Bumblebee Jasper. And for pile 3, we have some Celestite. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about what's ahead for you this upcoming Aquarius season. Go ahead and select the pile or the crystal you feel the most connected to. And once you've made your selection, scroll down to the description box to locate the timestamp that will take you to your selected reading. See you there. Hey, pile 1, if you guys picked out this little Pyrite cube, this is going to be your reading all about what's ahead for you during this upcoming Aquarius season. So let's go ahead and get started. Starting off with some astrology cards, we have the messages of retrograde, and we have the South Node. So right off the bat, I feel going into this Aquarius season, this will be a time of things maybe feeling a little bit slow for you guys. I'm almost feeling for some of you there's a blocked energy that you're experiencing during this time potentially, but it's all happening for a reason, which I know is annoying to hear. I think especially if you're wanting to be making progress on something and it's like, well, it's all happening for a reason. Trust me, I understand that's annoying sometimes to hear that, but it's what I see. Retrogrades are really providing a moment for us to kind of like slow down and review our plans. Really allowing you to tie up any loose ends, comb over the details with a fine-tooth comb, and really make sure that you're not missing anything, really making sure that you're on the right track that you want to be on. And with the South Node being here, this card is indicating past, and South Node is sort of our past life energy. It's our comfort zone. And I feel like for some of you guys, maybe there's a realization during Aquarius season that you've been sitting in a comfort zone for too long, and there's this energy of wanting to break free of it. Try something new. Maybe you're a little bored with something in your life. The South Node is also an energy where we need to make sure that we're not repeating the same lessons that we've already learned, right? So for some of you guys, there may be a lesson presenting itself to you during Aquarius season, that like a familiar energy that you know you've already learned this lesson, right? Or maybe for some, this is like the first time a lesson of this type is popping up, and this retrograde energy is about you taking pause to kind of review, okay, like why did this happen? What am I learning from it? But the South Node is also kind of talking about needing to tie up any loose ends of an old energy or like our old life before we're able to move forward into our North Node, which is like our, future life that we want to create, our purpose. So there's definitely an energy of slowing down and revising how we want to move forward during this time. We have the vegans, solitude, independent, and peace. All right. We also have the fire element, warrior, passion, fearlessness. Yeah. There's definitely this energy of wanting a change in your life with the fire element here, you guys. Maybe coming into this Aquarius season, you guys have been spending a lot of time alone or spending a lot of time just in solitude. Maybe some of you guys have been reflecting on what it is that's going to bring peace to your life. And it feels like what's going to bring peace to your life, as I'm seeing it here, is something you're passionate about, moving forward, taking action. And I do feel this fire element being maybe some frustration for some of you around like why, like wanting things to move forward, but not necessarily being sure how to channel it, or feeling like there might be blockages from the past in your way. So let's continue with the tarot. So what is happening during Aquarius season for pile 1? I think for a lot of you guys with the Pyrite, this energy may be linked to your own sense of stability, like work, finances, things of that nature. Could be about relationships too, because I am seeing kind of a family energy here in the vegans card. And maybe it's something about those themes for some and really wanting to ignite a change. Let's see. We have a 9 of rockets, which is the 9 of wands. We have death. Yep, slow change is coming in. Let's see. And we have the 4 of lasers. Yeah, this is definitely a time period where I think you guys are slowing down. And it might be a situation where you want to make sure that you're not forcing anything to go faster than it needs to go. Because I do see here a lot of indications that change is imminent and change is coming for you. Whatever desired change you want, it's coming, but it's going to take time with death, okay? 9 of rockets, especially with it saying disqualified here, it definitely is giving this energy of frustration that I keep picking up on. 9 of wands is when we are like exhausted. We're like, you've been putting a lot of work into something. You've been exerting a lot of effort. It feels like something is almost like an ongoing battle for you. And you've maybe tried something and feel like you failed, or tried something and feel like it just didn't work out the way that you wanted to. And so it leaves a lot of frustration. So I think coming into the month with this frustrated energy is definitely allowing you this time to review the lessons that were learned from it, so that you're empowered with the death card here to start making those slow changes toward the future of where you want to be. And, the death card is really interesting because it does talk about, kind of like we were saying with the South Node, letting the past fall away slowly so that we can transition toward the future, toward our purpose. And the death card, in my experience, is like a slow, imminent change, and it is a fundamental change. So it's like something that you guys are moving through this month is really sparking a transformation, like a fundamental change in your life, whether it's something you do, the way you are, your work, like something is fundamentally changing for you. And maybe you feel like it's going too slow and it's holding you back a little bit. So the 4 of lasers is the 4 of swords. You can see here, this is like, I'm taking a nap. I'm taking a time out because there has been a lot of exhaustion with this energy of the 9 of rockets here. You know what I mean? So I think that this is a time where you all are just being guided to like take your time. It's okay to take it slow. Take your time to review your plans and revise if you need to. Get the rest. You know what I'm saying? So let's pull some of these Hero's Journey Dream Oracle cards. I love these cards. If you guys haven't ever seen this deck, I picked it up a few months ago at a local shop, and it's so good. So let's see. what else should pile 1 know about their upcoming Aquarius season? What else should they know about the situation? Okay, we have attune to the call. Tune in and turn on. So this is about really listening and paying attention to the changes that are happening around you. Really listening and paying attention to the things that are working out and the things that aren't working out. Tune in and turn on. Attune to the call. So you are being guided away from something in your life. You are being naturally guided away from something that is no longer working for you. I do feel a lot of you guys are maybe wanting independence too. Like that did come up here at the vegans card. Maybe this is something to do with having more independence in an area of your life, potentially. Let's see what else. Discover your superpower. Access 100% of your mojo. This is so fun. That's kind of really making sense with that fire element being there. And I think that, look at this, you guys, we have time for a quantum leap. Prepare for a makeover. Yeah, this is the death card. This is like massive change that is going to be happening for you. This, to me, this season feels almost more like the calm. I don't want to say the calm before the storm because it doesn't feel like a storm is coming for you, but it's like this is your period of calm before the change. You know what I mean? This is the time where you're being called to sort of just time out, relax, take a mental break from the things that are stressing you out. And I love this card that talks about discovering your superpower. Access 100% of your mojo. So it's like you all really, I think, are being guided to take a break from whatever is stressing you out so that you can really access your best self, you know, so that you're able to really tap into whatever it is that's going to ignite your passions or, you know, light you up in a good way. I'm trying to just make sure I'm not missing anything. I also noticed you had some repeating numbers here, 33 and 33. I have to tell you all, I'm really bad with numerology. I've just never been like into, I don't know. And not like it's math. I was going to say I'm not really a math person. I know numerology isn't really math, but I'm going to look it up really quick for you because it did catch my eye. So I want to just make sure that I'm telling you what it means. So number 33, it says, is a master number. It resonates with the energies of compassion, blessings, inspiration, honesty, discipline, bravery, and courage. Number 33 tells us that all things are possible. 33 is also the number that symbolizes guidance. That's amazing. So again, it's like a lot of those themes, discipline, bravery, courage, these are all themes that we need to kind of channel when we're getting ready to move into a new phase of life. But it also talks about blessings, inspiration. So blessings are coming to you. Inspiration is coming. I think that it's just a time to kind of take some time out and access peace and access your, you know, your superpower here. So let's see. I want to pull some of these coffee cup oracle cards to see if we can get some more specifics here for you about your upcoming Aquarius season. So let's take a look. I just got this deck recently. I'm really excited about it. Okay. So look at this, you guys. We have relocation home. So there could be a change in your living situation during this time. Let's see what else. What else for pile 1 during Aquarius season? We have the wheel. Endings and beginnings. That makes so much sense with the death card, you guys. The key theme of your reading is that like change is imminent. Things are ending, new beginnings are coming in. Okay, we also have heart. Love, new love. So this could, again, I was kind of picking up on that for some of you. This may have to do with like your like relationships in some way. I'll grab one more. And then we have the dog. Loyalty and determination, which I think determination came up with those, with the number 33, but that makes sense with that 9 of Wands because it's like this energy is the energy of like kind of continuing to push through despite the failures. So pile 1, this looks like a very powerful season ahead for you. I'd love to hear from you in the comments what aspects you felt resonated the most with what's been going on in your life. So drop me a comment below and let me know. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so that you will be notified when I upload the next reading, and I will see you there. Bye. Hey Pile 2, if you guys picked out the Bumblebee Jasper, this will be your reading all about what's ahead for Aquarius season. So let's go ahead and get started. And overall energies with your astrology cards, we have Pluto and the 8th house. Okay, wow. So that's already super intense. Okay. So 8th house is like shared resources. So this is going to be talking about like themes of maybe like, it doesn't have to be money, but just think of resources that you might share with others. So when I think of shared resources, like in the financial sense, I think of like maybe investments. I think of like taxes. I think of like partnerships, like relationships and partnerships and how you share finances. It doesn't have to be specifically. I'm just kind of saying these examples to illustrate some different examples of what it could mean. But there's definitely something being highlighted here about the way that you share resources with others. It doesn't necessarily have to be money either. It could be other themes in the resource category, like how do you share energy with others? Physical energy, mental energy, right? And Pluto is talking about rebirth. It's transformative energy. So there's big, massive changes that are coming through for you guys in the way that you are approaching shared resources during this time, okay? Pluto is super transformative because what it does is it comes around and it like highlights all the things that are in the dark. And it's interesting that this 8th house card has the word mystery on it as a keyword because to me, Pluto is coming in to unearth the mysteries. It's kind of dredging up all the stuff that's hidden from you so that you're able to see more clearly what you need to do and how to move forward and what needs to change in your life with regard to this type of situation. So I definitely feel that there are going to be some things around shared resources that are not as mysterious to you anymore because you're learning more about them through transformation of Pluto. So let's keep looking here. We have the tall whites, uncertainty, distrust, and guarded. We also have the Merkaba, movement, long distance travel, and excitement. So I do think that there is some excitement around what's going on for you. Some change. Again, movement to me also is emblematic of changes that are happening. Travel. So the energy around this transformation, I think it feels to me like reading it does feel like there's something about this situation that's maybe you're a little unsure about or apprehensive about going into things. You're not really sure exactly how to trust this situation. But I think that once you are able to kind of uncover whatever the mysteries are about this, it's going to be very exciting for you. And I think that it's going to result in progress for you in a positive way. So I know this probably feels really general. Let's see if we can get a little more insight with the tarot cards. So tell us, pile 2, what is happening for them during this upcoming Aquarius season? Can you tell us a little more about this situation? Eighth house is also inheritance too, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. So we have a queen of, not wands, swords. The magician. The sun. Yes. Happy energy. Seriously. So I see you guys kind of going into Aquarius season in this queen of lasers or queen of swords mode. This Queen of Swords mode is the mode that's like you're cutting through the BS of the situation. Like your Queen of Swords is going to be asking a lot of questions. They're going to be very analytical and fair and like clear-minded around the way that they're approaching something. And so I see this as you guys really going into Aquarius season, having conversations with people that you need to have, asking the right questions you need to ask, holding people accountable that you need to hold accountable in order to achieve the clarity that you need in order to transform whatever the situation is that you're trying to transform. I don't know why I keep feeling like drawn to the fact that this is the tarot in space, so it's like a lot of alien-esque type of or like ET looking figures here, but I'm really being drawn to how her eyes are sort of like blanked out here. I don't know what that's trying to tell me, but I'm really drawn to it. It's almost giving me like seeing through something or seeing through someone in a way, like in a weird way. But I feel like that's exactly what this Pluto energy is about. It's like about you guys unearthing something that needs to be unearthed. And I feel that it's happening through conversation and intellect. And whatever you're able to gather from whatever conversations you're having or work you're doing, it's providing you with the tools and skills that you need to manifest your desires here. Because I see your desires with this shared resources energy. I see your desires as like, you know, this movement that you're seeking, this travel that you're seeking, this excitement that you're seeking, progress that you're seeking, right? So there's an energy of needing to have the skills to be able to do this. And maybe the shared resources energy that's here is part of like you being able to manifest your desires. Maybe you're needing shared resources from someone else to be able to get where your goals or get where you want to go. There's a lot of music energy here with the guitar, and this looks like a little record. So for some of you, this could be like a musical situation, like music or creativity is part of what you're manifesting during this time. But I see you rounding out the season feeling really happy and enlightened. And, you know, the sun is also it's not only joy and happiness, kind of like this card talks about here, excitement, but it's also clarity. Finally understanding what you need to know. Having the darkness, the mystery is now illuminated, and now you're empowered by knowing the truth, right? So definitely lots of good times ahead, I feel. So let's see. We're going to go into the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle next for pile 2. So let's see what else we need to know for you guys about Aquarius season. We have you are invited, suit up, show up, and open up. This one's kind of like wanting to come out, so we're going to take it. We have stand up and be recognized. Behold, you are the inspiration you've been looking for. Very cool. So both of these cards I feel like are kind of talking about you guys coming out of your shell a little bit here. So for some of you, well, for many of you, I feel like this situation is going to require you to maybe come out of hiding or to be more exposed or be more in the spotlight in a sense. It's interesting too that we have this you are invited over top of this distrust energy, this guarded energy. Maybe this season you guys are also like learning to be more open with other people. Whether these are like business partners, coworkers, like romantic partners. Like I do feel there's an element of you guys needing to be a little bit more open with others. And this is also talking about suit up and show up. So this is sort of about like wearing the part, but also like looking the part and embodying the part. So whatever you guys are trying to manifest this during this time, I feel like you're being guided to go into this season like embodying the energy as if you already are living it. Behold, you are the inspiration you've been looking for. So this is also about like being the one to drive your own self forward. Like there's nothing outside of yourself that you need in order to manifest your desires. No one else has to be the one to ignite you or inspire you. It's you. You know what I mean? Like you're the one that holds the power. You're the one that can inspire yourself to move forward. But I also feel for some of you guys, this card is like showing you getting some sort of recognition during this season too. Because you can see how like it almost looks like she's about to be crowned here, this figure. So I definitely think that there's this energy of you guys getting some sort of really happy recognition toward the ending of Aquarius season, which seems really fun. So we're going to close it out with this coffee cup oracle. So this is a really cool deck that I just got. It's going to tell us like more specific details about what's ahead for you. So for pile 2, what is ahead? for Aquarius season. Making a mess here. What else is coming through for them? Okay. We have the wheel, endings and beginnings, which makes a lot of sense with Pluto here. So there's definitely something I feel during this time that you're letting go of so that you're able to really usher in new energy, that transformative energy with Pluto. Well, let's see what else. And also when I'm seeing this wheel, I am getting this energy of like, this is the type of wheel that requires you to steer the wheel. It doesn't just move by itself, right? So again, kind of going back to the standing up and being recognized, like I think you guys are actually like in the driver's seat when it comes to this change in your life. It's not going to come from someone else, you know? We have the turtle, slowness and protection. So this is like taking your time, not expecting things to happen overnight. Okay. We have dolphins, playfulness, cooperation. So there's that energy of kind of like opening up more to others. But I also see that being echoed, you know, echoing like the sun and the Merkaba card of like being excited about things this month or this during this time. And then we also have the pearl, hidden gem. See, there's something like that you guys are uncovering during this time, like some sort of knowledge or like secrets that you didn't know about that I think is going to really help you as you move forward and move through these changes that you're seeking to make in your life. So pile 2, this looks really fun and exciting. I would love to hear from you in the comments which aspects of the reading you feel resonated the most with what you have going on in your life right now. So drop me a comment below and let me know. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so that you will be updated when I post the next video, and I'll see you then. Bye. Hey, pile number 3, if you guys picked out this Celestite crystal, this is going to be your reading. We're going to be looking into what is ahead for you for this upcoming Aquarius season. So we're going to get started with your overall energies with some pre-shuffled oracles, and then we will be transitioning into the tarot. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So starting off with some astrology cards, we have the energy of Saturn, and we have the energy of the 9th house, exploration. So 9th house it can be a lot of different themes. So the 9th house can talk about things like foreign or international travel. It can talk about philosophy, higher education, global understandings. To me, this is like a very expansive, sort of like worldly house. So I feel for some of you guys, there are definitely, well, for most of you that pick this pile, there are going to be themes around those that pop up for you during Aquarius season that are kind of the focal point here. It could just be like exploration in general. Maybe some of you guys are like exploring different philosophies, different belief systems, things of that nature. If it's not like the tangible of like going to school or traveling, foreign travel or something like that. But it's interesting as we have Saturn here, which is making me feel like there are some, I don't want to say limitations, but there's some sort of restriction I feel around your exploration during this time. I don't think it's necessarily in a bad way. Saturn is like the planet of responsibility. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is almost the vibe of having some sort of interest or some sort of endeavor that you want to explore during this time, but coming up with a more responsible way of following through. I think of like committing to something and really following through with it with Saturn. I think of tying up any loose ends, right? I almost think of like, if this has to do with like school, like higher education, college or something, I almost think of Saturn being like, okay, it's exams. We got to tie up those loose ends before we can move on to like the next semester. Like that type of energy is what I get from this. So let's continue. So we have the water element, reflection, kindness, and compassion. We also have the Ebons. It says mystery, reading between the lines, and intuition. Yeah, there's definitely, I feel, something that you guys are exploring that really piques your interest, that really piques your curiosity. It's almost like going down some sort of a rabbit hole, I feel. And even in this little card, it almost looks like he's in school, doesn't it? Like there's little school supplies all around him. There's books. Super cute. So there's definitely a vibe of you guys learning something new or kind of exploring something that you're very curious about or drawn to. With the water element here, I do feel this is something that feels very, you feel very emotionally connected to, very immersed in a sense. And so I think that's why the Saturn energy is showing up here, because again, I feel like this is something where you could get lost in it because it's something you find so cool and interesting. So Saturn is coming in to like add boundaries around this situation in a sense. So let's continue. Let's pull some oracle cards, or not oracle, some tarot cards to get a little bit more info. What else for pile 3 during this time? We have the 7 of lasers, 7 of swords. We have the Knight of Wands. And we have the 9 of Swords. There's the 5 of Cups at the bottom. So I wonder if for some of you guys, this Saturn energy, this restriction that you're feeling about this interest or endeavor that you're going after, I wonder if there's some sort of disappointment. Look how she's looking at the world too. That's so interesting. It's giving me this energy of you guys like wanting to travel somewhere and it getting canceled, or you're like, there's a restriction, you can't go. Like there's something about that I feel is happening for some of you guys during Aquarius season. But I almost feel like you guys are going into Aquarius season in a, like you're undercover with the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords is about kind of like doing something and not really telling anyone what you're doing. You know, it's like you're doing it to serve yourself, and you're doing it because you want to do it and it feels right to you. You don't want anyone else's opinion. You're just doing it because it's what you want to do. And I do feel with the Knight of Wands, this is something that brings a lot of excitement for you. There may also be an element here with the 7 of Swords of trying to avoid responsibility around something or get out of something like Saturn so that you could be able to do the thing that you really want to do. Definitely some conflicting energies here for sure. But I see you guys kind of like moving into a space of like having a lot of fun, or maybe making an impulsive decision to travel or explore this thing that you're really excited about. But I think that it might end up causing you a little bit of anxiety. Like it's almost like a guilt energy that I'm getting from this 9 of Swords, where it's like, should I have done that? If that's not the case, it's like definitely this overthinking sort of vibe around this. So let's continue. What else does pile 3 need to know about Aquarius season? Yeah, because like, I'm not saying you guys are, but like the way that I feel channeling this energy is almost like I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing, or I'm doing something bad. Like that guilt energy of the 9 of Swords. We have become the elixir. Let your glow do the heavy lifting. Okay. Let's get one more. We have time for a quantum leap. Prepare for a makeover. Yes. We also have, what would your higher self do? You are divinity in blue jeans. That's cute. It's almost like this intuition card popping up of like, there seems to be something that might be standing in your way during Aquarius season. And there's something that you know you want to do, but maybe you're not sure that it's the right thing to do. And so this card is saying, what would your higher self do? It's kind of like, it's like listening to your good conscience in a sense is what I'm getting from this. And we also have Make the Grade with Flying Colors. Remember, you signed up for this. So this is, again, Saturn energy. It's about honoring and following through with your commitments. Maybe some of you guys have gotten into something that you thought was going to be really fun and exciting for you, but now that you're in it, it doesn't feel as good as you wanted it to feel. And so this is kind of echoing this message of Saturn, of commitment, of making sure that like you follow through on your assignment and you want to do a good job on this, you know, proverbial assignment, whatever it was that you signed up for. But I do think that there is this energy during Aquarius season, this awareness that you want to change something about your situation. It says time for a quantum leap. You guys are wanting a massive change. You're wanting movement, travel, prepare for a makeover, right? Revamping this situation, making over yourself, making over the situation, refreshing the situation. And then it says, become the elixir, let your glow do the heavy lifting. So when I read that, it's almost about like allowing your own inner sparkle to shine and knowing that you don't have to do anything extra because you are enough. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need anything extra. You don't have to do anything extra. You, your inner light, who you are, is enough. So I'm not 100% sure how that ties into this scenario here, but someone clearly, I think, needs to hear that. So definitely some exciting times, though, with that Lieutenant of Rockets. I definitely can see you guys traveling or doing, just pursuing this thing that brings you a lot of excitement during this time, but for some reason there's some overthinking and some, maybe even a little bit of guilt about it. So we're going to close it out with these coffee cup oracle cards just to see if we can get some more specific information about this situation. The first card flying out of the deck, we have Cunning and Stealth, the wolf. So it's kind of like that Seven of Swords, right? It's like being very strategic and moving in silence and not telling anyone what you're doing. Okay? Okay, all these are falling out. So we have the triangle, choices, and indecision. Again, making a lot of sense with that Nine of Swords. We have the lion, strength and success. So having the courage to go after and do the things that you need to do or to see this thing through. We also have the envelope, unfolding and surprise. Ooh. So I feel like things are going to start to become more clear for you as you guys move through Aquarius season. You may even receive some sort of surprise message about this. That's so funny that the word eccentric is here, because that's definitely how I feel about Aquarian energy. It's like very different. And that, we are in Aquarius season, which is about sort of like, I take it as marching to the beat of your own drum, doing things that are not within the status quo, wanting a change, doing something different, nonconformity, right? And maybe that's where some of this is coming from for you guys. Like, you've got this really responsible Saturn energy that maybe is the comfort energy or the energy you're used to operating in. But I feel that you all are really wanting to branch out and explore and do something totally different for yourself during this time. So pile 3, this is very intriguing. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments what aspects may resonate with your personal situation. So definitely let me know. If you're not already, please do subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so that you will be updated when I upload the next reading, and I'll see you then. Bye.